Hi everyone, Velvet here, and I have some stories for you today. But before we get started, can you please do me a huge favor and like, comment, and subscribe? It'll really help the channel out, and it'll get you more videos like this every day. Let's get started. And our first one comes from Wise Nectarines. Am I the beehole for confronting my brother-in-law for allowing his daughter to get so out of shape she can't even walk half a mile without needing a rest break? My Bill, husband's brother, is a single father to my niece Cindy. For some context, I have always made it a point to encourage my kids to be active and have a good relationship with exercise. Bill isn't the same way with Cindy. My daughter bought Cindy a pair of skates for her birthday so they could go together, but Cindy tried once, fell too much, and lost interest. She mostly likes to play video games at home and spends a lot of time in chat rooms. And it's fine to have hobbies like that, don't get me wrong. But here's the problem. When we, the girls, were out shopping a few weeks ago, we were going to take a break and grab lunch at a cafe in the shopping center. It was a half-mile walk on a gorgeous spring day, and Cindy couldn't do it. She needed to sit down and take a break. I did not make a big deal out of it to Cindy, and we just hung out with her until she was rested. I pulled Bill aside after and told him what happened. He didn't see the issue. I told him that she's only 14. She shouldn't have any trouble walking, that I'm worried she's going to develop health issues, or is going to get worse. He got very defensive and accused me of saying he's a bad parent. I told him no, he's not a bad parent, but it's alarming that his daughter can't walk half a mile, and that she might need to see a doctor. He got even angrier and said that I was overstepping and to back off. I put up my hands and said, okay, I won't say anything more, and left. I know how it feels to have your parenting criticized, so I understand why he got defensive. But was I truly so out of line to express concern for my niece? I wasn't talking about forcing her into after-school sports and running laps. That's a great way to make a kid hate exercise. I agree, it shouldn't be a punishment. But I fear that things are getting worse, and her not being able to climb stairs or something like that is in the future. Edit, there seems to be some confusion. A few people have made comments that made me a little confused. Cindy isn't overweight at all. Okay. Not the beehole. Yeah, I'd be worried too if someone couldn't, just walk. Even back when I was at, my biggest, I could walk a mile. It took me a while. It took me too long that I wouldn't want to admit. But I didn't get winded where I'd have to stop. I got tired, but it's walking. You know what I mean? You can just keep walking. So, and her not being overweight, I thought she was going to be like 300 pounds plus being like that. Because I used to know a guy who was really, really big, and he couldn't walk from one end of the store to the end of the, to the back of the store. Didn't really care what happened to him. He was a jerk, so I couldn't care less. But it sucks what's happening to her. So you can be super skinny and still be out of shape. I'm kind of like that too. I look like I'm in some sort of shape. I work out every day and I have, I got strength and all that now, but I still get winded sometimes when I do cardio. And I know that's because how I was growing up, eating bad foods and shoving chocolate down my throat every day, which I still kind of do. Not every day, but it's my vice. It's my demon. I love chocolate. You know what I mean? Love chocolate cake. Sorry, I kind of wandered off. But no, you are not the beehole. You're right to be worried about a young child who can't even walk half a mile, to a store. Something's wrong with her. The father needs to go and get that checked out, especially if she's not overweight. If she was overweight, at least you knew what the problem was. She has to lose weight. It's probably what she's been eating. It's probably her diet, or maybe she does have something wrong with her. And yeah, I would go get that checked out at the hospital. I don't know what to tell you about the father, because it sounds like when he got defensive, there's not much you can do to him. And it sounds like he's just going to be in denial for this whole thing, which really sucks, OP, but there's not much you can do. Yeah, OP, not the beehole. And our next one comes from Not Your Custodian. Am I the beehole for cheating my coworker out of a free meal? I, a 28-year-old male, work with this woman, Lydia, a 24-year-old female, who has a very annoying habit. She has a dating profile that she uses specifically to lure guys to buying her expensive dinners at restaurants. She wants to try and then ghost them. Lydia brags about this all the time and is never interested in actually dating, but she'll act like it to sell it. I can't stand this because it's playing with people's hearts. But Lydia thinks it's a life hack to try food or drinks she otherwise couldn't afford. Ugh, this is already pissing me off. My friend Daniel, a 32-year-old male, is also on dating sites, but for the right reasons. His late wife died a few years ago, and he just started jumping back into the dating scene. Daniel's very sweet, a very sweet guy, and I really want him to find a great lady. A few days ago, he texted me and asked if I knew Lydia. They matched and got to talking about work, which is how he found out we worked at the same place. I told him all about Lydia's BS with the restaurant thing, and made it very clear to him that he'd be best to drop things with her early on. Daniel said he'd probably still do the date, but asked for separate checks. Well, they went out this past weekend, and on Monday, Lydia came back into work, very upset. I asked how her date with Daniel went, and she ripped into me asking if I was the one who told him not to pay for her dinner. Apparently, she had Daniel take her to the high-end steakhouse. She ended up splurging. She got a drink, a full entree with side and dessert, where Daniel just ordered a sandwich and salad. Her bill alone came to 70-something, and she was almost in tears at work, as she didn't expect to pay for it, and now her car was low on gas. Oh my god, oh no. I got a little upset too, as she tried to use my friend as a literal meal ticket, but somehow she doesn't see that way. Daniel told me later the date was kind of going well until he asked for separate checks. Then Lydia just got weirdly cold. So now Lydia's mad at me because I told someone about her little tactic, and it backfired on her. I don't feel like I did anything wrong, since it was a grieving friend I was protecting, but some other people at work said I should have stayed out of it because it was none of my business. Tell me, were those people at work simps or other women? Because people like that are ghouls in my eyes. And this is why I really don't date. And this is why I agree with people who say things like, oh, a coffee date, or going to screw Starbucks, overpriced crap. I would take her to Dutch Bros. At least you get a good drink. And if she's trying to do that, I'm out like, what, $5? Whatever. I'll live. It's better than, what, probably 100 something, because she was right at 70 something. He got a sandwich, a fancy steakhouse, $22 maybe for a sandwich. I don't know how much it is for a salad, but I don't know. We're gonna say 100 something plus tip. So yeah, no, OP, you are not the beehole. You warned your friend. Even if it wasn't for like him grieving or anything like that, I would still have my friends back and be like, hey man, she's trying to use you to get a free meal, and it's no secret that women out there do that. They have no intention of really taking the date seriously, and they just want a free meal. I would say you're being a good friend. You had his back, and I believe in equality. So if I'm dating someone and they don't want to go half on the bill, then that's it. We're done. Because you don't get to just pick, choose, and refuse the good parts of, equality, and you get to just filter out the bad parts. That's not how that works. And that's also a good way to see if the person you're with is legit there for you. Because if they're there for you and they want to see more of you, they won't care about paying half the bill. And I don't know about you, but I've grown up not poor, but, well, not well off. So I know when I go out somewhere to eat, especially with someone, I don't get the most expensive things. Nowadays, everything's expensive, so the cheapest thing you can get that's kind of filling nowadays on these menus is like a $22 burger. Maybe for lucky, $16 to $18 burger. But even then, I really try hard not to eat out. If I do, it's a sushi roll. At least if I'm going to spend money, I'm going to spend something on something I truly enjoy. And it's hard for me to make at home. And don't listen to those imbeciles you work with. People are trained to think like, oh, the girl's crying, we have to be nice to her, and we have to give her everything. That's not how it works. She was being evil. She was doing wrong. She was manipulating and fleecing people out of money for free meals. So, and of course, if it's women at work, they're going to back her up. No matter what, they know what they're doing. They all know. And if it's men, probably simps, probably attracted to her, probably want to be like, aha, I'm the white light knight for you, my lady. Let me defend your honor against the evil guy who didn't want to have his money. Basically, yeah, no, scam. It's a scam. It's a rube to run. Yeah, scam. So OP, you are not the beehole. To wrap all that meandering up, you're not the beehole. You're a fantastic friend. Good looking out. And our next one comes from Educational Error 705. Am I the beehole for telling my son to pay back the money he spent on his online girlfriend? I, a 45-year-old male, have a son, a 16-year-old male, that loves to play video games. I purchased him a PlayStation 5 for his birthday last year, and he plays online with friends. He's been telling me that he's been chatting online with a girl, a 15-year-old female, and they've slowly started dating. They don't talk over the microphone, as hers, oh my god, he's being scammed. Hers broke, and he has no idea what she looks like. She's this is such a scam. I told him to be careful on what he sends her, and not to give her any personal information. My son has his own credit card with a limit on it, and I told him not to go over the limit and to only use it for emergencies. I got the credit card bill for this month, and there were charges repeatedly for the game he plays, charges of $50 to $100. I was furious, as he gets gift cards for the games for his birthday and Christmas. I approached him with the bill and asked him what the charges were. He told me that his girlfriend wanted new stuff for the game and would break up with him if he didn't purchase them. I told him that I'd pay for the charges and he would have to pay me back the money. I told him that there were many jobs that would hire him. He got angry with me and told me he wouldn't have the time to work as he plays sports and school. I told him that if I was able to balance working and school, he would have no problem doing it. I took his credit card away. He's not speaking to me now, only in regards of being picked up or needing a ride to see his friends. I would not let him see his friends if he's going to be that rude to you. He's mad that I'm making him pay the money back and get a job. Am I the beehole for telling my son to pay back the money he spent on his online girlfriend? Hello, OP. No, you are not the beehole. Your son is falling for the oldest trick in the book. Hey, I'm totally a girl. Like, I'll totally be your boyfriend, or, I mean, girlfriend. I'll totally be your girlfriend if you buy me the stuff on this game, which is probably $25 skins. For a first-person game, you can't even see your character in, which baffles me. Most I'm willing to spend on a skin, $3, and even then, that's pushing it. But no, OP, personally, I would tell him no friends if he acted that way. If he took it well and said, hey, you know what, I effed up, sorry, Dad, I will get that job and work it off and pay you back. Because it sounds like he didn't spend a ton, or maybe he did, 50 to 100, I don't know. But yeah, OP, you're not the beehole. Personally, yeah, you need to nip that in the bud, and he needs to learn that there are scams like that, and that's one of the older ones that everyone needs to see coming, and making him do this will put in his head to think twice about falling for this cheap trick. And even if she was real, giving you that type of crap, buy me a thing or I'll break up with you, that's not someone you want to be with or be around. So no, OP, you are not the beehole, and good on you for trying to teach your son a lesson. Make sure he sticks to it, because it sounds like he's a bit hard-headed, and he needs to have this lesson, drilled into him, because it's going to keep happening. The scam's going to keep running. People don't do these scams unless they're successful. So OP, you are not the beehole. And our final one comes from Gazelle. Am I the beehole for not wanting to fund a friend's engagement? My group of college friends and I are planning a reunion trip this summer, and it happens that one of my friend's boyfriends is planning to do a surprise marriage proposal on the trip. We are all very excited, and my friends have volunteered to pay for the photographer for a friendship/marriage proposal photo shoot. That's weird. Do you know who the person was on my brother's proposal to his wife? My sister. Didn't have to pay her anything. We had to buy her food, but food's fair. Then, the boyfriend is picking a restaurant for dinner afterwards, where my friends have said we're going to pay for the newly engaged couple's dinner. That's so friggin' weird. I feel like this is a lot to ask of everyone financially, especially when the boyfriend really doesn't have to do much planning. I'm not strapped for cash or anything, but I also got engaged last year, and my fiance and I are trying to save for a house and a wedding. So we're trying to be frugal, plus I don't want to sound bitter, but no one did anything for me besides send their congratulations when I got engaged. I'm happy to pay for the shoot or that you shouldn't have to, but I'm already traveling across the country for this trip, and paying for everything just doesn't feel right. Am I the beehole for feeling this way? Hi OP, you are not the beehole, and no, you shouldn't have to pay for an engagement. What the hell is this? Engagements are supposed to be like, hey, we go to a place, I kneel, I whip out the ring, there you go. If you guys want to go eat after and you pay for your own thing, cool. But if I were you, OP, if that was me, I would say no. And if it's going to end up into some drama, I wouldn't even make the trip. I'm not paying for your guys' engagement. And like you said, they didn't do anything for you, which they shouldn't have to. It's an engagement. Things can fall apart real quick even after you've been engaged. You're not guaranteed to get married. And OP, you don't pay for the wedding. Why should you pay for the engagement? If those gullible idiots want to spend money on someone's engagement, Let them do it, but not you, OP. This is stupid. And like you said, you're frugal and saving your money. There's no way in hell I'd do this. I didn't even do this for my brother. Like he went to Disneyland. I didn't go to Disneyland. I'm not spending money on freaking Disneyland. If I'm going anywhere, I'm going to Universal to get some sweet Princess Peach merch, and that's it. But yeah, like I said, didn't do it for my brother. Not wouldn't do it for my friend. So OP, you are not the beehole, and you would be a gullible idiot if you went through with it and spent money on someone else's engagement. Not even your engagement. This is insane. Tell him to just get on his knee and propose with the ring, and you guys don't even have to go eat after. That's nuts. OP, you're not the beehole. Thank you so much for staying with me to the end of this video. Can you please do what I said in the beginning and like, comment, and subscribe? It will really help the channel out, and it'll get you more videos like this every day. Velvet out.